Hi, this is Beakley from 84 Faces. You're now listening to SpeakerBox X, featuring news hip-hop aside.
A group of independent radio stations linked together by mutual agreement and telephone long lines.
You're listening to KTDT Tucson, we're 99.1 FM, downtown radio, the antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, subterranean hip hop in effect with your host V-Riv. We have a very special guest in the house. His name is Jon Black. How are you doing, Jon Black?
Awesome. Good. All things considered, I'm good.
It's good to hear, man. So let me go ahead and start off with the first question. For people that don't know about your music, haven't tapped into it, let's go ahead and get a background on you. Where were you born and raised?
I'm originally from San Diego, California, but I spent time kind of half in between because my parents had like what you call like shared custody. So one year I'm in San Diego, the next year I'm in Sacramento, 1 year I'm in San Diego, next year I'm in Sacramento. So between that, moving around a lot, I'm kind of from like everywhere, you know what I mean? And then I came out to Houston when I was about 19 or 20, and then I've just been in Houston since then.
Dope. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's dope that you're in Houston. Houston's climate's crazy though, man. It's crazy humid out there. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. I was like,
if you don't like that, you're not gonna like Louisiana, because if you go to Louisiana, it'll be 70 degrees. It's still gonna sweat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah. I had to like take more than one shower, like 3 showers a day. I was like, I can't.
3 showers a day. You already know. You really been here. You really been here. 3 showers a day.
For sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about how did hip hop come into your life?
I first started like doing like poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like I was into like writing short stories and poetry and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't even really listen to hip hop a lot until I was in like the 8th, 9th grade. Excuse me. So in the 9th grade, I had a lot of time. I was living with my pops, and he's kind of like hardcore military style. You know what I'm saying? So I would be messing up and I'd just be on lockdown for like months at a time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I would go, sometimes I get to go to the mall. This is in Sacramento. So I go to the Arden Mall. You know what I'm saying? And that was like my big thing. I get my allowance. I go to Arden Mall. And man, I say about like 9th grade, I was living in Sacramento, and up there, they got a big variants of the kind of hip hop they listen to. There's like gangster rap, but people also listen to stuff from the East Coast and down south. You wouldn't know because it's like by the Bay Area, so it's a little more variety. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, man, the first 2 CDs I ever bought was E40's Element of Surprise and Busta Rhymes' Extinction Level Event. I think those were the two first hip hop CDs I bought. And then Most Def Black on both sides. And that came out like a year later. But I heard E40 and I heard Busta Rhymes. I had never heard music entry into it, was listening to that. And I just, after a while, I got tired of just writing poems. I was like, I want to write some raps. So I just started writing raps, you know?
So
you know, lockdown 23 and 1, you got to do something, you know what I mean?
For sure. How did your dad take that? Was he okay with it? Or was he like, what? You're listening to what? Was your pops okay with it? Or, you know?
My dad is like, when you have parents that are kind of like that, and there's no diss to him, he was a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Parenting is hard, and I'm starting to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's been easy for me pretty much up until right now, and now I'm kind of like feeling what he was feeling. So when it came to my personal interests, there wasn't really a lot of discussion. It was more so like you go to school, you know what I'm saying? He's like hardcore military. It's not like a whole bunch of like sympathy or you feel what I'm saying? Oh, you like that? Oh, that's good. Is homework done? You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing like that. So yeah, he likes it now. He listens to my music and I'm surprised. But he does. He listens to my music and he likes it. So
that's good, man. That's good. He took a turn for the best. You know what I mean? So that's good. You know, he actually
you mellow out as you get older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, that's true. You do mellow out
a little bit longer. Let me not be so serious. You know what I'm saying? Not stress too much.
Yeah, that's true. So what type of music and or artist played a major role in shaping your adolescent years?
In my adolescent years, I would say a lot of like old school. Like out here, they listen to a lot of like blues, and that's like their old school. But in California and I think in Arizona, we heard some of the old school station, and it's what they call like Northern Soul. You feel what I'm saying? So stuff from like Philadelphia, like the Dramatics and I don't know if they're really from Philly, but that's what it's called, the Philly sound. So it's like the Stylistics, the Dells, the Dramatics, that kind of Smokey Robinson, that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
so my mom was kind of into that a lot. You don't get no control over the radio when you're young. So, you know what I'm saying? That's really kind of all I listened to at the time.
Yeah, I know. That's dope. That's dope.
Tag Team. Boom, There It Is by Tag Team. That's like 95. Everybody was into that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. What was a pivotal point in your life that made you decide that emceeing was something you wanted to pursue? Like, what was that pivotal point in your life where like, I'm going to take this seriously. This is something I want to do.
With anything like I take real serious, I don't take a lot of stuff serious. You know what I'm saying? So with anything that I take serious, I take it real serious. So like me and my homies was like in San Diego and we kind of just started like freestyling in the garage, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then we knew this dude, it was my homeboy's little plug or whatever on the studio time. So we would go over to his studio and record some songs and then we meet like a producer. Nothing ever really came of it, right? But we got like real access to a studio. And so I was like, well, if I can do it, I'm going to really try and do it and just see where it goes, you know? And I just kind of always kept at it, never did too much. I came out to Houston and, man, I kind of wasn't doing too much. I was making songs, but not performing really. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. So then I started getting some few little plugs in the city and I hit the stage and people liked it. And I was just like, I mean, why not me? You know what I'm saying? And whatever I want to do or whatever you want to do or anybody, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
Why not you?
Yeah, might as well do it. Yeah, I mean, life's too short, and I feel like a lot of people don't pursue their dreams just because, you know, of circumstances, you know, like if you, like I've heard a lot of people tell me, you know, oh, I started a family way too young, so that kind of messed me up in what I want to do, and so, but I mean, it's never too late, even if you have a family. I feel like it's just harder. It's just more work. It's just more, I feel like it's harder, but you still can do it, so you should never give up on your dreams. And I feel like a lot of people in life do give up on their dreams because they're like, I need to make money right now. You know what I mean? And I don't have time. I don't have the money to buy all this gear, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get a 9-to-5. But then, you know, they find out that they're not fulfilled. You know, there's something lacking. Right.
No, you're right, man. You gotta pick and choose where you're gonna take that hit at. So you might lose some sleep trying to raise a family and do what you got to do. But I'd rather attempt it and not fail. I can't fail. From what people have already told me with the music, like. As long as what people have told me I've already heard, there's no way I can go back and ever feel I didn't do anything. I've already feel like I've done something. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I didn't, I would never know. And then I'd always been in that state of not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you got to go for it. or you're gonna live a whole life full of regret, especially if it's a passion. Yeah, no way.
Oh yeah, no way, 100. Yeah, what inspired your creation of your track called Dreaming and Watching? What were you doing? What inspired you to write that track, Dreaming and Watching?
That's crazy you would say that. Honestly, a lot of the stuff, like some of my friends were kind of going through, some stuff I've gone through. At the time when I wrote it, I kind of just wrote it in a retrospective mind frame, like, dog, if I'd have seen all this at that time, if they would have seen all this at that time, you know what I mean? Like things would have turned out a lot different because it's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about that song is like maybe like 3 years old, maybe 2-3 years old. And I never found an appropriate time to drop it. And so I just, never did anything with it. And if I had dropped it, if you go back and listen to, I want to say it's like the third verse, maybe. The whole thing, like people had this whole, and I don't mean to bring him up, I'm not trying to but that whole thing with the dude Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? That happened. And if you listen to the third verse, everything I said will happen in its own way. You know what I'm saying? And it was almost like a verbatim play of what happened to him. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of the consequences, unforeseen consequences. You know what I'm saying? So Dreaming and Watching is just like, I got to go for mine. I want my people to go for mine. I've reflected and grown on some of the stuff we've gone through. A lot of my friends have, and it's just like, they be dreaming and watching. We be scheming. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we apply to certain things, we could apply this to other ways and really go somewhere with it. So that's what it was about.
Sweet. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a musical break. We're going to go ahead and play the track called Dreaming and Watching by Jon Black.
Real age. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, yo, it's all love, but love got a thin line. And I go all out to defend mine. I ain't about to let no is in mine. I tell them worry about yourself and you'll be just fine. Where I'm from, wake up to commit crime and kill time, running from the canine. I climb while my haters on a decline. And if you're busy watching me, then that's a big sign. You ain't got enough going on. You need something else to focus on, or better weed to get loaded on. I've been campaigning so hard that I can't remember an election that I ever really voted on. I wake them up like putting folders on. I do my thing, I don't go along. And it's really sad, doing bad, and they wanna get mad and lash out when the hope is gone. But they be dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton, and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave. They be dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton, and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave. I don't do well with minimum wage or being trapped in a cage. I just gotta go my own way. Tell me, what does it mean to behave inside of a system that's set up for us all to be slaves? Every minute we working, we dying, steady getting close to the grave. What more can I say? That ain't the game I'm trying to play. I made employee of the month, I was on time every day. They told me thanks, and then they put my picture up on display. No raise that night, came by and shot up where I stay. I said, hey, I'm really grateful, Steve, but I don't really think this is made for me. Yo, bit is doing good thanks to me, and I'm coming home to bullets when my baby sleep. While you drag your feet, I got ends that I have to meet, a king that I'm raising up after me. What I'm gonna do, I really don't know, we gon' have to see. They but it ain't dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton, and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave. They be dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton, and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave. I'm really trying to walk a totally different path and not praise negativity with my gift, but the love of lyricism is in the past, and I'm really trying to get it split. I stopped selling drugs and now I'm pissed, cause looking back it was totally worth the risk. All the materialistic shit That's where a real can still exist. I done been to jail and regretted the tears. My homeboy been stuck in the pen for years. I'm talking real penitentiary chances here, and I can see the whole setup, it registered clear. You gotta get the money, then get the f out. Don't be the one they talking about. I don't chase fame or lust for no clout, cause people get desperate when it's a drought. This is free game and I'm giving it out. Don't let them get in your house. The minute you gone, they figuring how they can get at your baby mama. Just dreaming of digging it out. If she ain't no queen, your is in doubt. You need to be listening now. Phony homies, what's lonely, Brody? I'm good with as if it is loud, but maybe that's just me, or maybe that's just life, or maybe that's just what happens when you're coming up and it's just right. Tales from the bottom, but look how I got them. I'ma keep going up while the rest keep watching. Cause they be dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave. They be dreaming and watching, we be scheming and plotting. They ain't leave me no options, man, I gotta get paid. My family used to be cotton and I still ain't forgot it. I ain't about to go back to ever being a slave.
You're listening to 99.1 FM Downtown Radio, the antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, Subterranean Hip Hop in Effect with your host V-Riv. And we have a very special guest in the house. He goes by Jon Black. We just played his track called Dreamin' and Watchin'. We've been chopping it up. We're going to continue chopping it up. We're going to dive into his mind. So what's your opinion on the state of the world? You know, since you were talking about, you know, what you just talked about earlier, what's your opinion on the state of the world?
My opinion on the state of the world, I feel is kind of the same way it always has been. You know what I'm saying? Like, very few things change since the beginning of time for man, you know? So it's not, when you see it you can look at the world with an optimistic mind, but you have to understand a lot of the things that are going on now have always gone on. It's just we live in a digital age where all the news, everything happening right here in wherever, somewhere else that you're not at, you're hearing all the bad news because that's what they focus on. And you're just inundated with all this negativity. So the world is bad, but it's always been bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, it seems like society is messed up, but a lot of societies are messed up. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I feel like the younger people that I run into, even though there's still racism, even in younger people, you know what I'm saying? My kid is in like middle school. So some of the stuff he's told me, I'm just like, what? You know what I mean? But I do feel as though just through cultural exchange and whatever's going on in the streets, like people are interacting with other people and other cultures, and you're starting to kind of get some of that old thought being done away with. And I feel like miscommunication is the reason why a lot of the greed and miscommunication are the reasons why a lot of things in the world happen. You don't see things the way I see them. So I feel like your point isn't valid. If your point isn't valid, you aren't valid. And so then the conflict begins. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We live in a society where we're supposed to be democratic, and, you know, people weren't really allowed to voice their opinions back in the day. And now people aren't. You see, we just have the illusion of progression. You have a choice to be whatever you want to be. I have a choice to be what I want to be. And we live in a society where we should be able to discuss it because you have a choice. I can't force anything on you, but that's the way of the world. People try to force things on people, and I don't know, you know, like
it backfires.
It's always the way it has been.
No, yeah, for sure, 100. And what's your opinion on the state of hip hop? How do you think it's being affected by world events? Do you see it going in a positive direction, or do you see it taking a toe back, like a step back?
As far as hip hop is concerned?
Yeah.
I feel like right now hip hop is obsessed with that, right? Or people trying to make a political statement, which is good. We need more artists out there. We need more balance. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of the trap stuff, which I enjoy. And then you have lyrical stuff that's good too. It's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I like listening to trap when I work out. I like listening to lyrical stuff when I'm every other day, right? So yeah. I feel like I wish people will keep this energy when the election or Black Lives Matter or whatever the hot topic is right now isn't the hot topic. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing a lot of people, a lot of messages, even people I wouldn't expect to have a message, but they do. I just hope it carries on, because now people have like a 30-second memory. You know what I mean? As soon as the next thing happens on the news, they forget all about it. No change ever comes of it. It's just one shock after another, and we get up in arms, and then nothing happens. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel hip hop is in a good place, and it's as good as it's gonna get. So
yeah, 100. So I just feel like going off what you just said right now, I feel like a lot of people, I feel like as a nation and maybe as a world, we have been traumatized. I feel like everybody has suffered to some degree trauma. And I feel like the only way we can improve the world is we work on ourselves. I truly believe that that's the only way out, is that we work on ourselves, because we are a reflection of everything that's going on outside of us. I do believe that, because I feel like, you know, if something's wrong with me, then it's weird because everything starts going wrong. You know what I mean? Like if you think bad thoughts, like, oh man, it starts happening. You know what I mean? So I feel like, whoa, like I manifested it, even though I didn't mean to. I feel like we manifest things, and we can't delve too deep into like negative thoughts and feelings, because I feel like that's going to keep us down as, you know, as a person, but also as a nation, you know, as a world. Right. And I feel like a lot of us have trouble breaking through that. How do you deal with negative thoughts or stress? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I like to work out, right? So like, I'm not like advertising and saying I'm like the biggest person or nothing, or I'm the most fit or anything like that. But it gives me a routine every day to look forward to. It gives me goals every day to set. If I have an exceptionally good workout, it's usually an exceptionally good day. My endorphins are just kind of already up and going. And even if nothing else happens throughout the day, at least I feel more satisfied with my day that I did something. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I just went and walked, whatever I can do. And it helps me kind of maintain a positive mind frame. When you feel better, you feel better, and it helps your mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel healthy. I feel healthier than I ever have. So it's like my mind is in a better place than it ever has been.
Sweet. What's the background story on your track called Critical Hustle?
What is the backstory on that song? Man, I don't know. I just kind of, you know, I was like messing around in FL Studio, right? And so I don't like, sometimes I like to sample, but a lot of times you don't really want to mess with that. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and try and make a beat. So a lot of stuff I end up doing sounds either really Southern or really West Coast when I play it. You know what I'm saying? So I just started messing around with the piano, and the song came about. And my homeboy has a brand. I'm not advertising, I'm just saying he has a brand, and you know, so, and it's called Critical Hustle. And you know, we did a lot together, and I'm just like, we did a lot, like more than I thought I would do from a business perspective in music. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had shows with like Rakim, Large Professor, like out of town stuff, which for some promoters is not nothing, but for me it was a big thing. I've never been a part of nothing like that. And at the time when I wrote it, it's like we were on a really good streak, and I was just like, you know, they do whatever they told to. I do whatever I want to, because in our mind, whatever we were thinking about at that time, even till this day, if you think about it and you really stay on it, like negative thoughts, if you stay on something, it'll manifest if you put enough into it. So when I had that song, I had that beat, and I was just like, I'm finna just go in on.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a musical break. I'm gonna go ahead and play your track called Critical Hustle by Jon Black.
Yeah. Look, I'm back, better than ever. The king is arisen, your Nebuchadnezzar. Me falling off, that is a never. Put in so much work that can't measure the effort. But look at me now, made more from the lesser. Solid, I never felt under pressure. Eating Hannibal Lecter, milking it, boy, I was bred for the cheddar. They say they want real, this is shade in the desert. Take it or love it or hate it, whatever. I'm reaping the fruits of my labor, tasting the nectar, getting this paper together, turning my pain into pleasure. Flame like Jamaican, not pepper. Mine is a major hot stepper. I'm trying to get to the money, but that ain't my greatest endeavor. When it rains, I don't pray for good weather. When it got cold, I said thanks for the sweater. I never said I'm a shooter, I'm more like an Uber, down to take it wherever. Man, leave me alone, the king is on his throne, and I'm waving my scepter. Got him trying to figure out how it happened, like the bone collector. They stiff as a board and light as a feather. I show them my craft to make them remember. I got a gift like it's say in December. The circle is small and they taking new members. They never been through no struggle. Depend on they people to bubble. Working with minimal muscle. And I got a critical hustle. Yeah, they do whatever they told to. I do whatever I want to. Used to be down to split the bag, now I'm so low when I come through. I got a critical hustle. 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 They do whatever they told to. I do whatever I want to. Used to be down to split the bag, now I'm so low when I come through.
Ultimately, the goal is to help motivate individuals like yourselves that are listening here to be able to say, okay, I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that is trying to do something, and sometimes you run into roadblocks. It happens, but as we discussed before, your concern is never really what you can't do. It's getting to a place where you can say you did it.
Good looking. It's Jon Black. Jon Black. Jon Black. Jon Black.
You're listening to 99.1 FM, Downtown Radio, the antidote to corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, Subterranean Hip Hop in Effect, with your host V-Riv, and we just played Critical Hustle by Jon Black. We have Jon Black in the studio. We've been chopping it up. He works out to get rid of the stress, to get rid of that negative space. And I feel like that's essential to all of us. I feel like I need to I hit the gym, but I should hit it more. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could be in better shape. And that's something. Yeah. So, but definitely I agree with you on that for sure. So let's go ahead and dive into the mind of Jon Black. My next question to you: do you have a creative space or a place you go to?
You mean like a physical place?
Yeah. Is there a physical place you go to, or you don't need any place? You can just pretty much write, like just off the dome anywhere. Do you, like, when you're gonna write something, what state of mind are you in, and how do you get into that state of mind?
Honestly, sometimes songs hit me when I hear the beat. Sometimes I'll hear another song and I'll be like, oh man, I like that. And it's not that I'm writing the song that I'm writing like that song, but I'll just hear a beat like on the radio. I'm just like, I could, and really there's no particular place I go to. It's just all in the feeling. Sometimes if I'm like kind of down, some people can like be in like depressed feelings and all that kind of stuff and come out with a whole bunch of music, but I can't do that. I got to be in like even if it's a aggressive song or like a song about like some depressing type stuff, I still got to be in a good mind frame in order to even start writing. Cause you just be all upset, like this sucks, you never finish the song. So just wherever the mood strikes me,
Okay, that's good. That's awesome. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? What books, movies, magazines, podcasts have you been reading and or listening to lately?
As far as like books, not very many books right now. It sucks because I don't have like a lot of free time, leisure time like that. You know what I mean? So it's like usually a lot of gym. And then, I work from home. And my son is in like online school. And even then, like in my free time, I usually like hanging out with him. You know what I mean? Like we're into the same kind of stuff. He's old enough where he doesn't suck at video games. So it's like actually challenging. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm like living my best life. I got somebody to beat up in Street Fighter and, hang out with. So I just enjoy that. You know what I mean?
You named the album Friday Part 2. Mm-hmm. Why Friday Part 2? When I think of Friday, I think of like Ice Cube. I think of the movie Friday. So was that
because there's a Friday Part 1, so you gotta have a Friday Part 2. You know what I mean? But so the original idea with Friday, it was Black Friday, right? So Jon Black, Black Friday. So I had the little logo with the Friday with the little going on the top, and I was just like, okay. So we hit the mall on Black Friday when Friday Part 1 dropped, and we just went around the mall giving out free CDs. You know what I mean? And then Friday Part 2 came and people just was like, you need to make a Friday Part 2. So I just made a Friday Part 2.
Nice. Yeah, I saw your title and like, damn, I just think about the movie Friday because that's such a dope,
Exactly.
movie.
See, what you got to do, you got to have it. It's not the Friday soundtrack. I don't want to get a copyright on there.
Yeah. No. It's not.
It's
Not at all.
Friday, Jon Black Friday. That's on my name on.
Friday.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Cool. We're gonna go ahead and take a musical break. We're gonna go ahead and play your track called Camel Clutch from your album called Friday Part 2.
I'm finna talk about these false prophets real quick, you know? The dishes don't be adding up, you know? But, hey, in a world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. But the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. Cause in a world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. But the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. I never believe in what I heard, I only trust what I've seen. And only believe in half of that, cause nothing's just what it seems. My scheme to elevate the team between reality and dream, to where the fantasy is life. You're damn right, boy, I want everything. The power to change my people's lives and give hope to the barely hanging on, to come to the hood and get them right, and if not, spread love in every song. I really wish that the radio put me on, but if the price that I pay to play along is too high, and I feel I got to choose sides, I'd rather stay and right these wrongs. I heard that man made money, now money makes the man, and art can make the art, but the money can make the band. Truth makes a follower, promotion makes the fans, and fame can make the realist break down and shake the fakest hands. In a world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. But the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. Cause in a world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. Yeah, the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. Right back to rapping, it's the Black Bob Backlund, giving these rappers the old Joe Jackson, feeling the energy trapped within my black skin, even though it seems like we never can win. I believe for whatever the worth, that the meat shall inherit the earth. I'm trying to stay clean, but I seem to keep stepping in the dirt, just trying to have some things and make a run on the first. I'd rather down my feet, cause then I've been over hurts. I be rolling a perp, trying to keep from going berserk. I just want everything that I know I deserve. This is mathematician music, I can show you the work. Tell me, who do you believe in? Xanax ain't new nor leaning, these false prophets misleading, and I can see the deception deepen. Hip-hop in a whole new season, where it really got no true meaning, and that gives me a whole new reason to confront and defeat these demons. I don't do days off or weekends, on my grind in the day and evening. I don't never be the one for the preaching, just trying to spit the truth when I'm speaking. In a world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. But the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. Cause in the world full of false prophets, it ain't adding up. And oh yes, they can't finesse, but I got the magic touch. When the real up against the fake, that's when they mad at us. But the whole game finna feel the pain, I hit them with the camel clutch. My structure under construction, you got to pardon my dust. See, we've been at this for years, nobody going harder than us. I learned my hustle in Cali, them streets was awfully rough. You'd have to be there to know it, cause really bars ain't enough. And it's crazy when the ends eating, it ain't hard to get stuck inside of somebody's trunk, cause even stand-ups get slumped. That dope is just like the Watcher, even got the stars in its clutch. I kept it under the radar, fame never bothered me much, cause I was paranoid, living in the void, lost in the lust of what it could offer me up, and that led to the cops in some cuffs. But I stood tall through that stuff, and I'll never soften my nuts. I'm just through with taking losses and such, I'm trying to boss up. Let's go.
You're listening to 99.1 FM Downtown Radio, the Antidote's corporate radio. You're now tuning into SpeakerBox X, Subterranean Hip Hop in Effect with your host V-Riv. And we have Jon Black as our special guest. We just played Camel Clutch from his album called Friday Part 2. We've been chopping it up. We're going to continue to dive into the mind of Jon Black. And I'm going to ask you, the next question is, would you like to share a personal experience or something most people don't know about you?
A personal experience or something most people don't know about me.
Did I put you in the hot seat? I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I don't really know. Some people don't know. There's a lot of people don't know about me. Let me think. Something people don't know about me. Like what? I don't know. You got to help me out with that one because I'm just like.
Okay. So, like, for example, was there like an experience you had as a kid that was profound that affected you? Either it could be music, it could be something else, or was there like, do you have a skill that most people don't know you have? Like maybe you skateboard, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, well, most people don't know I skateboard. You know, is there some sort of other thing you do that most people don't know about?
Something that I do that most people don't know about.
Yeah.
Oh man, an experience when I was a kid that nobody knows about. Oh man. I don't know. I can't think of nothing.
Like, were you in
childhood
karate? I don't
experience.
know. Like, were you in martial arts? Because that's something that I did as a kid. I was in martial arts. That's something a lot of people don't know
Yeah,
about
I was
me.
in a martial, but you know everybody's in a martial arts. You know what I'm saying? At one point or another, I took a lot of different martial arts, but yeah, I wouldn't call myself a martial artist. I know some martial arts, but yeah. One thing that I was into when I was younger was baseball. I was like really into
Oh,
baseball. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because my team was like the Houston Astros. This is like little league. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
was really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops was kind of trying to get me to go into baseball. And then I kind of just quit on it. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. And but I had like a batting average. It was like Ken Griffey Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really into it. And I was like third
Oh,
base. So I was
wow.
really quick. So I get third base, I hawk them
That's
down
dope.
between give them a pickle and yeah. I was really good at it, but you know, I just wasn't into it after a while.
Gotcha. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, things change, you know, people grow and you just find other things more entertaining or, you know, something that's more appealing to you. So that makes sense.
Mhm.
When you wrote, okay, so then we're going to the next track, Breakthrough. When you wrote Breakthrough off your album, The Hustle Continues, what was going on in your life at that time? Were you going through some sort of breakup, like, you know, to make that breakthrough? Or were you like, what is the backdrop story to the track Breakthrough?
You know, at the time, it's weird like when you try to pursue something in like arts or anything like that where it's opinion based or something like that, people aren't obligated to like it. Your family doesn't have to share your stuff. Your family's just obligated to love you. They don't really, you know what I'm saying? You would hope they would share your music. You would hope they'll tune
Yep,
in. They
yeah,
probably
you know,
won't. You
yeah.
feel what I'm saying?
No, you're
So
right, you're right. No, for sure, 100.
to be honest, you know, so you know, there was like a time I was kind of like, man, ain't nobody really, but people were, but it's just in that artist's mind because it's not happening in your time, nothing's
Mhm.
happening. You know what I'm saying? And so at the time there
Yeah.
was that going on, man, there was probably I was stressing over like I don't know, some of my kid in school, because it's always parenting is a constant like resharpening of your tools. You think you know them and then you don't know them, and then you got to relearn your kid year after year. You know what I'm saying? And get it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what's wrong with them? And it's nothing wrong with them. They're just getting older and they're developing different characteristics that you have to, you know, start to
Adapt. Yeah.
hone. So
Adapt to.
yeah, man, you have to, and then you help them shape that into something positive. So at the time, it's probably just a lot. Just
100.
being a person right now in today's society with so much bombarding you is just always a depressing time. So it's just like rather than focus on that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
no,
really down
100.
right now and I don't feel like I can go any worse. So it's only up from here. So that's what, you know, I feel like sometimes when you're at your breaking point, if you just hold on, you might have your little
Yeah.
breakdown. Something might happen. You might get on SpeakerBox X radio in
Yeah.
Tucson.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I never know. Never know
That'd
where the
be
current of the right? You never know where the current will lead you, no, for sure. I believe in that. I
exactly.
believe I believe things happen for a reason. I believe anybody that came into my life was there to either teach me something, most likely to teach you something. Give, you know, it's always lessons upon lessons you're trying to learn in order to get to that
Mhm.
next level, next stage. So I feel like everybody you encounter is an extension of you, or like, or they're going through some sort of development, and you're just there, like you happen to be there to help them develop, or whatever it may be. So no, 100%. I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. But yeah, you have to be at your lowest point to know that you have, you know what I mean, that you do have talent. You just have to believe in yourself in order to like create that breakthrough. And I feel like a lot of us don't believe in ourselves. I feel like we could have. I feel like this world could already been, I guess you could say, shaped up like in order in terms of like our government system and whatnot. I feel like, but people don't believe that they have the power to do it. I still feel like we still are trapped in that mentality that, oh, that's too far away from me. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to reach it. So why even try? And who knows if they're gonna like me? So I feel like a lot of us are still trapped in that mentality of, I don't think I can make it, but you will never know if you don't try. So it's like, you miss every shot you don't try, because I remember Michael Jordan, he was really bad back in middle school. He couldn't play basketball. He was a really bad, like he didn't make the team, and he leveled up like at the end of his, I believe at the end of his school year, he started like really, practicing hard. And that's when he started to become like this, like everybody was like, whoa, like you were like not a great, like you were not even on the team, but now you made it on the team. Like you developed within a couple of years to do it, but that's the thing. People need to be disciplined and, take that initiative. So I remember that Michael Jordan wasn't this great basketball player when he was a kid. He was like nobody wanted to have him on the team until he like leveled up. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's all about leveling up.
Right.
Yeah. So,
you're right. I think a lot of people are kind of focused on things happening quicker than realistically possible. You got to tap into reality and you got to apply yourself to what you want to do and get better at. So I can definitely see that. I can see Michael Jordan not being good and developing himself into being good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So what are your future plans? Are you going to be, once this quarantine lifts, are you going to be doing a tour? What are your future plans? Do you have any music coming up in the future, an album? Collaborative efforts?
I have a new album coming out. It's actually the one that Dreaming and Watching is going to be on, and Critical Hustle is going to be on. And I got some, oh my God, I want to like send all the music out for everybody to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like really, really some of the best stuff I've ever done. And I say it on every project, but to me, every time I drop a project, I level up. You know what I'm saying? And so for me right now, this project that I have now is really good. It's going to be called Energy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on that. When COVID clears up, hopefully, I don't know what that's going to look like, right? So even it's almost kind of like, what's the antithetical? I don't know if that's the right word, but like you don't want big, large gatherings of people. But in order for a show to be successful, you have to have big, large gatherings of people. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get that under control. I don't know what's up with the bars. Some people are doing shows again and it's like limited space, but going on a tour can be expensive. So you have to kind of, figure out how you're going to make that work unless you get a sponsorship. But if I can, I'd love to come back out there on another tour. I'm not going to lie to you. New Mexico or not New Mexico, Albuquerque and Tucson were probably like my two favorite stops on the tour.
Yeah, you performed at the Thunder Canyon Brewery, so that was unfortunately I couldn't make it. I had something going on, family related, so I had like an obligation with my family. But I would have loved to have been there. You know what I mean? If I could have. Yeah. But you were.
Yeah, look. Right at the end of the tour was right when they announced the pandemic. Right, so I'm in San Diego, and it was like the night before they was like, ooh, they're going to start going into lockdown. So it was like the last night of the tour and a few people came out, but I could understand. I'm just like, dude, what's going on? And then we got back. This is the last day of the tour. We drove back. And when we got back to Texas, everything was on lockdown. So,
So words of wisdom. What are your words of wisdom to anyone aspiring to do what you do?
Don't aspire to do what I do. Just do what you do. And don't be upset if people don't listen to your music or like it or support you in any way, right? They're not obligated to. One, if you think you make good music, that should satisfy you enough, just that you make good music. If you want to be heard, and people aren't sharing it, I've had to come to this realization, which makes me more at peace with the music I'm doing, right? I haven't incentivized people enough to want to go out and spread it. Now people are, because they're feeling incentivized because I've been putting out more content or whatever it is I'm doing. Maybe it's just being more visible. I don't know, but I'm getting more shares now because I've consciously put more effort into being seen. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel you make good music, that's, something that you just got to hold to. If you're trying to get out there, that's a whole different thing. You got to do everything you got to do to get out there. Don't sit at home. Don't wait for it to come to you.
For sure. Our interview, we dived into the mind of Jon Black. I'm going to go ahead and it's been a pleasure having you, Jon Black.
It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for being on SpeakerBox X and sharing your music, your talent, your time. We're going to go ahead and play the track called Breakthrough off his album called The Hustle Continues, which I think is a dope name for it. So we'll leave it at that. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later and have a great day. All right. All right.
You too. Thank you. Peace.
All right. Peace.
One more again. Critical hustle. The hustle continues. Yeah. Bring it in. Yeah. Yeah. It's Jon Black. I'm just sitting off in King Benny's. They get any, we get plenty. Yeah, I'm a shining star, still got drive, even minus car. In a world full of passion, minus bars. Life is hard, ups and downs like a slide guitar. They killed my homeboy inside his yard. They locked my bud up inside the jar. He had the drive and was down to ride, but without a guide to describe the parts. Life as a young black man is hectic. Grow up in the ghetto being misdirected, or so it seems from an outside perspective. In America, still disconnected. The rules only make sense in this section. Choose to lose, to learn to use aggression. Whole communities, mass depression. The more help needed, the less we get it. Who can change it if we can't correct it? Don't ask for help, cause when you do accept it, the prices soon rise to too expensive, and they gentrify when they make investments. The rent too high, you gotta make your exit. It happened to us and I won't forget it. Time don't heal cause I still regret it. Turn man a house into a bed and breakfast, damn. So I'ma put a whole zip in the air to lighten my mood. Cause when I sit alone at night, this is what my mind can go through. It may seem like I don't care, I do. But I might have to break down just to break through. So I'ma put a whole zip in the air to lighten my mood. Cause when I sit alone at night, this is what my mind can go through. It may seem like I don't care, I do. But I might have to break down just to break I'm kind of a bad friend, I don't call very often. I had to fall in, I've been on my grind, and a lot of been on my mind. Don't wanna burden you with problems. I've been watching me sink slow, drowning in that quicksand, got swamped in. It's so crazy, I escaped from a physical death, but now it's a mental maze that I'm caught in. I'm trying to raise a boy to a man, void of a plan, in a poisonous land that I'm lost in. Paranoid cause I am, making noise for the fans to enjoy, but it seems like I can't win. I guess it's all about choices, different voices, telling me to keep on pimping pins. But could it all be a dream? Sticking to principles don't bring physical dividends. Too real for the world that I'm living in. Too deep in the game to begin again. I've been on my way, working on my plate, but now I don't feel like finishing. What they call hip-hop now sickening. Got my mind going round like a Michelin. Trying to act like they don't know when the boss said solo. It's no wonder we in limbo then. 3 dimensions ain't enough for me. I can't reside at that comfortably. No one to keep company, and these earth folks are no fun to me. I feel so out of place, looking at outer space, hoping that one day they'll come for me. I await the call and can't sleep at all. So as long as they keep passing blunts to me, I'ma smoke. And I'ma put a whole zip in the air to lighten my mood. Cause when I sit alone at night, this is what my mind can go through. It may seem like I don't care, I do. But I might have to break down just to break through. So I'ma put a whole zip in the air to lighten my mood. Cause when I sit alone at night, this is what my mind can go through. It may seem like I don't care, I do. But I might have to break down just to break through.